It's Groundhog Day!
Is it even a big day anymore in Central New York, Dave?
I don't think it ever was a big day in Central New York, but I think that's the point. I think it should be. Why do we rely on this groundhog in Pennsylvania, Punxsutawney Phil, when there are plenty of groundhogs right here in New York State?
There's one right in our backyard.
There's one in your former stomping grounds that's listed by the Weather Channel as the number 2 best groundhog in the United States.
In Staten Island?
Staten Island Chuck.
Oh, my God. Does Staten Island Chuck come out, knife you, steal your earrings, and get back in the hole?
It's a girl, believe it. Even though the name is Chuck, it's a girl.
So she just comes up, does a little Aquanet, and is like, no, it's going to be Windsor, and goes back to sleep.
I think we need to stop relying on Punxsutawney Phil.
Stop outsourcing.
Yeah, exactly. And go hashtag groundhog local.
Okay,
like,
Dave, you work on that.
For instance, Utica Eunice or Rhoda Rome or Chittenango Charlie. I mean, come on, man.
You spent a lot of time thinking about this, didn't you? Here's what I suggest.
Okay.
There's always 6 more weeks of winter here. Let's just face it. This is what I think you do. I think you take a half moon cookie, you throw it up in the air, and if it lands in Central New York, we're going to have more winter. That's it. It's that simple.
I guess it's never going to be spring early then, right?
Exactly.
Previously on Beth and Dave in the Morning.
Controversy for Pink and her husband, Carrie Hart. He posted a picture of their daughter, who's 7, shooting a gun.
Willow. Mm-hmm.
He's teaching her how to shoot a gun with targets and everything all set up properly there. And, of course, the critics all over it when it showed up on social media.
So let's say they had 7-year-old Willow, and Willow was chopping vegetables with a steak knife.
Yep.
Would they be more or less likely to defend that?
Well, the vegans would be okay with her chopping vegetables, but not chopping meat.
Beth and Dave.
Powered by Kinney Drugs, and they remind you to get your flu shot.
With the best variety of the 80s through today on Lite 98.7.
Nightmare come true for one New York City woman.
And for many of us.
The past weekend, Beth, Maritas Fortaleza got trapped in an elevator all weekend in New York City.
Unbelievable. Trapped between the 2nd and the 3rd floor.
Yep.
Clearly did not have a cell phone, which I just can't even fathom in this day and age that there is a person without a cell phone.
She's a housekeeper, and that's not neither here nor there. That's what she does as a job, and she helps keep the billionaires' households there at this high-rise in New York City.
And the only reason, I guess they were away for the weekend. Yep. She was cleaning. She was trying to leave. Got stuck between the 2nd and 3rd floors. The only reason she was discovered on Monday was that a courier was trying to make a delivery, and they were like, oh, we'll send our daughter over. Yep. And the daughter was like, oh, my God. She's in the hospital. She's okay. But seriously, I don't know what I would do without like a book to read, without my cell phone. Probably, I don't know, was there lights on in there?
It's worse for me, Beth. I got stuck in an elevator for about 30 seconds one time, and I started to hyperventilate.
30 seconds?
Yes, I hate it.
Dave, come on, man. Really?
Yes.
You're that big a
baby? I'm just claustrophobic. I hate that feeling.
That is, but I mean, what do you start thinking about?
You start thinking, if I ever get out of this elevator, I think I would.
Where are my Tic Tacs? What?
What? I get my eyes lasered.
Beth and Dave in the Morning.
They're here.
On Lite 98.7.
John Legend, the singer, he's 40 years old. He is just learning how to swim. He's taking swimming lessons for the first time since he was about 5. He said his dad didn't learn to swim until he was 60, so he feels like he's a little bit ahead of the curve. Then he was congratulated by the Red Cross, who said, it's important to be safe around water. But it got me thinking about skills that you never really learned as a kid, like basic type of skills. Like, I can't dive into the water. And I don't mean like dive off a board. I mean like get in the water any other way but jumping.
Yeah.
And no matter how hard I try. My son tried to teach me this summer, and I stood on the dock at Cedar Lake for an embarrassing amount of time.
Hour and a half, probably.
It was terrible. And Dave, what can't you, well, you can do everything, but what can't you do currently?
I wish I learned how to play the piano, for one. I was very old when I learned to ride a bike. I was the last kid in the neighborhood to learn how to ride a bike. I was on the training wheels. Very embarrassing
27,
for me.
that would be embarrassing.
I know.
Yeah. But we were asking this question on Facebook, like, what's the basic skill that you never learned how to do? Jack says swimming. Melissa said she never learned how to drive. Lynn says, I can't snap my fingers.
Wow.
Liz said she's not really good at communicating. A couple of people diving. Stephanie here is offering to give me diving lessons, which I really appreciate.
Cool.
Crystal says she can't dribble a basketball.
Beth and Dave in the morning.
When life gets you down, you know what you gotta do?
I don't want to know what you got to do.
Just keep swimming, just keep swimming, just keep swimming, swimming, swimming.
On Lite 98.7.
I don't know if you've been watching Netflix, The Magic Art of Tidying Up with Marie Kondo. Her whole philosophy is that you should only keep in your home the things that spark joy. And she is not joking. Like, if you have a spatula and it doesn't make you happy, out it goes.
So many spatulas make me unhappy.
I know. She's merciless.
And don't get me started on melon ballers, by the way.
Step away from my melon baller, Dave, okay? Just step away from my melon baller.
Beth and Dave.